Okay, imagine a strike so precise, so coordinated, it takes out a nation's entire leadership in a single devastating blow. Today, we're going to break down exactly how a ghost strike managed to bypass what everyone thought was an impenetrable fortress right in the heart of Iran. So let's set the scene. The date is September 27th, 2026. And on the surface, it's just a calm, quiet morning in Tehran. The capital city is just waking up, moving to its usual rhythm. But this was no ordinary day.
Yeah, while life was going on as normal, some of the world's most sophisticated intelligence agencies had their eyes fixed on one single, heavily secured building. Unseen and unheard, a complex and deadly operation was already in motion.
Now, inside that very building, Iran's top leaders were all gathered for a crucial meeting. They were in what they absolutely believed was one of the most secure locations in the entire country. They couldn't have been more wrong. So this is the big question, right? How could an attack of this magnitude possibly be carried out against a target that's supposed to be so well protected? Well, the answer doesn't start with missiles, it starts with data. To really get how this all went down, we have to rewind the clock a bit. Because this war, it didn't begin with weapons. It began with information. The first shots that were fired, they were completely digital. For months, American and Israeli agencies were running this massive intelligence gathering campaign. They infiltrated communication systems, they hacked into CCTV networks and satellites, and they analyzed every little pattern to track the movements of Iran's most powerful people. The goal wasn't just to attack blindly. It was to be absolutely certain of the target's location, down to the minute. And this is where things get really interesting. See, Iran was completely confident in its physical security. Its advanced radar, its top-of-the-line air defense shield. But the reality was, by the time a physical attack was even on the table, the invisible war for information, well, that had already been lost. This was the digital arsenal they used. Satellites became their eyes in the sky. A whole web of hacked city cameras turned into a constant surveillance network. And every single intercepted communication was another piece of the puzzle. All of this data was fed into powerful algorithms, creating this digital dragnet so tight that no secret and no leader could stay hidden. So, with the target's location confirmed down to the exact room, the operation shifted from the digital world to the physical one. But this wasn't going to be a simple bombing run. Oh no, it was an intricate dance of deception designed to paralyze Iran's defenses completely. The whole plan was to create chaos, to confuse and overwhelm. A series of smaller decoy explosions were set off all across Tehran. This sent security forces scrambling, it completely tied up their air defense systems, and it created the perfect, clear window of opportunity for the real attack. And while Tehran's defenses were busy chasing ghosts, the real storm was gathering on the horizon. A massive fleet of nearly 200 warplanes, a coalition of American and Israeli air power launched in perfect unison, their sights all set on that one, single, unsuspecting target. But here's the thing. Even with all this incredible technology and brilliant strategy, the success of the mission ultimately came down to a single, critical human error. A decision made under immense pressure that sealed the fate of everyone inside that compound. And this right here, this illustrates the fatal mistake. The security plan called for the leadership to move to the deepest, most fortified bunker they had during any crisis. But for some reason, maybe they underestimated the threat, they chose a shallower, less secure underground facility instead. That single decision, that was the final piece the attackers were waiting for. So the crucial takeaway is this. All the intelligence, all the military might, it was all amplified by one split-second judgment call. It just goes to show you that in modern conflict, a few minutes can be enough to completely rewrite the course of history. In the moments after the strike, a heavy silence fell over the center of Tehran, broken only by the settling of dust and debris. The immediate impact was absolutely devastating, but the echoes of this one attack would resonate far, far beyond the blast zone. The attack wiped out key figures in Iran's military and security command. It was a shocking violation of their sovereignty that sent this huge wave of grief and anger across the entire nation. This wasn't just an attack on leadership, it was an attack on the country's morale. For the people of Tehran, it was a terrifying realization. War wasn't something that just happened on distant borders anymore. I mean, when the country's most protected location can be hit with that kind of precision, it shatters the very idea of safety itself. The Tehran strike was over in just a few minutes, but its echoes are going to last for decades. And it leaves all of us with a profound and frankly an unsettling question. In an age where information is the ultimate weapon and secrecy is basically an illusion, is any fortress, any leader, or any nation truly safe?